Swastiastu.
Om Swastiastu.
Hello everyone. So today I'll be presenting my theory about pragmatics. But before that, allow me to introduce myself first. My name is Ardhi. My student ID number is 231-202-1119 and from AP2. So what is pragmatics? In linguistics, the study of language, pragmatics is a special branch of study focusing on the relationship between natural language and user of the language. Pragmatics focuses on conversational implicators, or that which a speaker implies and which a listener infers. To define pragmatics, experts sometimes compare and contrast it with linguistic semantics, the meaning of syntax, or compare it with syntax, word order, or semiotics, the study of symbols, all of which are distinct terms. So, guys, you guys may be confused. So, I have an example. When I say I got a new car, I have exactly pictures of the cars that I got in my mind, but it's different to your company, but different one when it comes to your mind, right? So the car that comes to your mind is like this car, and the actual car that I bought is this car. So to learn more about pragmatics, I wanted to show the video. So please pay attention for this.
Hi Sarah, how are you?
Hi Anna, good thanks, and you?
Good too, but a bit in a hurry. My course starts in 10 minutes.
Oh, what course do you have now?
Pragmatics.
Pragmatics? What's that about?
Well, it is really interesting course, but I have only got 5 minutes to explain. Basically, pragmatics is the study of speaker meaning, as distinct from word or sentence meaning.
I don't understand. Can you say that in easier words again?
No worries. I had troubles as well at the beginning. So pragmatics is the study of the relationship between words and users of the words. So for example, I have got a new boat, and now I have a specific picture of a boat, and you have a different one in your mind. So it is about the interpretation of the words and the utterances, and about trying to read what people mean by their utterances.
Ah, okay, now I've got an idea.
If you're interested in more, I can recommend the book Pragmatics by George Yule. That is the book we are using in our course. He also explains pragmatics in more detail, along 4 different dimensions.
Ah, do you still have time to give me a quick overview about that as well?
Yes, sure. First of all, pragmatics is the study of speaker meaning. That means it is concerned with the interpretation of the speaker meaning by the listener. So for example, if someone asks, "May I have a glass of water?" the listener interprets that the speaker is thirsty.
Oh, I never thought about it from that perspective. What is the second dimension?
The second dimension is the study of contextual meaning. So it is about the interpretation of what people exactly mean in a specific context, and how the context influences what is said. For example, you are at my place, and I ask you if you could bring me a glass of water. So the utterances are not fitting the context, because usually I would offer you something to drink at my place, and not the other way around. So you can see how the context influences the meaning.
I'm not quite sure if I got that right. Could you give me an additional example?
No problem. Think about the beginning of a conversation. The first person asks, "Hi, how are you?" and the second person answers with, "Ah, lovely weather today." So you can see it is grammatically correct, but it doesn't fit the context and the situation.
Ah, now I got it.
And do you want to know about the third dimension?
Yes, please, if you don't mind.
Not at all. It is a really good practice for me. The third dimension is the study of how more gets communicated than is said, which means that you, as a listener, have to investigate the invisible meaning.
What do you mean by invisible meaning?
Maybe it is easier to understand if I give you an example. If someone asks you, "Please close the window," the invisible meaning of the person asking is that the person is freezing or that it is too noisy out.
Sorry.
Depending on the situation.
We got some connection.
So for
Okay, because the connector is really terrible, so I will explain by my workflow. So after you guys watch all that videos, I think it's divided by four definition by you, George, 1996, Pragmantic, New York, Oxford University Press. So the first one is Pragmatic is the study of speaker meaning. And the second one is Pragmatic is the study of contextual meaning. And the third one is Pragmatic is the study of how more gets communicated than it said. And the last one is Pragmatic is the study of expression of the stage. So I will explain further about each one. Okay. So Pragmatic is concerned with the study of meaning as communicated by speaker or a writer and interpreted by the listener or the reader. And the next one, Pragmatic is involved the interpretation of what people mean in particular context and how the context influences what is said. And the third one, Pragmatics explore how listeners can make influences about what is said in order to provide an interpretation of the speaker's intended meaning. And the last one, it is to determine the choices between the said and the unsaid. It means how close or distant the listener is. Speakers determine how much needs to be said. For the example, number one, how are you? This is everyday greeting is really met with a response that involves discussing every medical and personal detail that may affect how the person is feeling on a given day, which would make up a literal response to the question. Instead, you might respond to the question with, "Fine, how are you?" This would be a pragmatic response since you are making a presupposition that the speaker's intention was for the question to imply critique, and not a literal question about how you are doing at the exact moment. And example number two, luggage must be carried on the escalator. This entails on a referential sign in an airport is linguistically ambiguous. Although not usually grammatically ambiguous, someone who has never gone to an airport before might misinterpret the semantic literal meaning as a command that everyone must wash over the escalator while carrying their luggage. But thanks to pragmatics, the inclusion of the text with the sign. Do you know that the sign only applies to people who are actively taking luggage onto the escalator, not to everyone? The context of this question determines the sentence meaning. And the last example, I have two sons, while not necessarily ambiguous. This sentence contains an implication that the speaker has no more than two sons. However, it is possible the speaker could have more than two sons, and the statement would still be truthful. Pragmatics incorporates of the context of the trace to determine meaning. Therefore, a preceding question of "Do you have any children?" will change the response implication to be that the speaker only has two children, two sons. Furthermore, a preceding question of "Do you have any sons?" would change the response implication to be that the speaker might have one or more daughters in addition to having two sons. And I have a thesis. You can join by this book. Is there anybody already joined? So I don't know because my internet is so late, so I don't know that. There's a place on my screen. This position is quite easy, actually. So everyone already joined?
Yes.
Who is there? Very good. Please, please. Please wait a minute. Please wait a minute. Don't play around. Okay, can I start?
Please wait a minute, please.
Stay on the line.
Yes, I'm still.
successfully taken off. Everyone's done? Is everyone done? Yes. Okay. Really great job. So, is that clear for pragmatics?
Yes.
Yes. So, here are the explain about the conclusion. As already mentioned before, the purpose of this PowerPoint is to show that pragmatics is important to learn the teaching of linguistics. Based on the explanation of above, I see the importance of pragmatics in linguistics. At least two things. First, pragmatics is the only level in linguistics which studies language by taking into account also research. And secondly, relates to inability of syntax and semantics to explain the phenomenon of the use of everyday language. I see the position of the semantics and pragmatics as two complementary terms. Furthermore, with regard to the teaching of language, pragmatics play a role in the development of communicative competence. And that's all from me. Thank you.